Today I want to talk about Hackamores. Last year my futurity horse really enjoyed it and I learned to really enjoy a hack. So I have this Jim Warner, super popular Hackamore, has the swivel shanks, this moves, and on certain horses, absolutely love it. I find for myself it makes me ride a little bit different, and I'm going to explain what I mean. My 4-year-old, as an example, I was going back and forth between a couple bridles. He's very sensitive. He likes to get backed off a bit really easily, so I was having a hard time because I thought an O-ring, but even the O-ring, like on the back side, he just snaps around and it's like he's rounding too much, not getting his shoulder up and by and like reaching and like pushing around. He's just kind of like turning, and then we hit our barrels a lot this year. And I did use a hack on him for a while the beginning of the year, and it was good, but he started to get a little too strong. Which would tend to happen, is just like stiff and like backed off of it. So then you're kind of almost feeling like you're dealing with a runaway, because when you pull, they just tuck their face because they have that nose pressure, and then you don't really have a lot of like shape, you don't really have a lot of control. So it is a balance in having a horse that is kind of ready for a Hackamore and also knowing like you don't have to stay in it forever. This past weekend I ran him in an O-ring and I just started riding in the O-ring again. I didn't love it because I feel like he's falling down, like he's kind of like, I liked their nose to be out, but he's almost kind of like falling down like that, like he's just like running, getting shape, but he's kind of like pushing down, and I just felt like we're not like keeping our shoulders all together, we're not like nice and balanced. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go back into the Hackamore, and the second I did it, I felt even myself ride differently. Instead of really needing like all this shape and bend, I just really was focusing on like, where are the shoulders going? How am I moving his whole body, not just his head and neck, but like where is everything traveling, and is it traveling balanced? And with the Hackamore, you really have to keep them balanced because you don't really have a lot of options to like get fancy shape and to get all this stuff. You have to just give them a lot of freedom. And I find in barrel racing, we have a hard time doing that with our horses and allowing them to move how they're naturally going to move, because we think we need all these things. We think we need like the C, and we need all this shaping, we need all this stuff, which is true in your training, but there also comes a point where you just need your horses to move how they're naturally going to in the most comfortable, efficient way possible. And it's our job to teach them the pattern, teach them how to do that. But when we get to a point where we can kind of graduate to maybe a bit more freedom, something like a hack where you're just allowing them to be balanced, you just kind of keep your hands centered, let them do their job, keeping them upright, keeping them going in the barrels nice and straight, not like swishing out and then swishing in, just a nice straight line going in, get around the barrel, running around it, instead of like, in my case, my horse really wanting to suck back and hit the barrels, getting them up and around, getting the shoulders clear of the turn. And I find using a hack can be really helpful for that. Even if you want to just try it at home, getting the feel of more freedom, just walk, trot, lope your horse on a loose rein with a Hackamore, keeping them a little bit more stiffer, and just thinking about getting the shoulders where you want them to go. Get the shoulders up and by the turn, get the shoulders traveling ahead in a nice straight line, get the whole body moving balanced, and just not having to micromanage. So the Hackamore for me has been quite a game changer, just helping myself instill those concepts and principles as well. And my 4-year-old really seems to like it, so we're gonna keep on doing that. It's just something fun to experiment with. So try a hack. If you have tried it, let me know in the comments how it worked out and why you love it or why you don't.